Once again, it's a good way to start the show because I am absolutely, once again, seething with rage. All right. Here we go.
Nice shot. He's getting tired now.
Hello and welcome to the worst movie ever made, an experimental movie podcast designed with one thing in mind: to find the worst movie ever made. I'm your host, Chris Huckman. I'm joined by my co-host and fellow mad scientist, Rob Scucci, and Bob Hessick. Hey guys, how are you? And what was that?
That was 1995's, 1996's Escape from L.A., which was stylized as John Carpenter's Escape from L.A. because he absolutely had to have his name on this to let everybody know he made it. That's what we're dealing with. How are you guys doing? How are you doing, Bob? Are you going to walk us through this one?
Yeah, I've been up since 4:30. My son had to go to work at 5, and then I had a full day of students, and then a night full of parent conferences. I just got home about 45 minutes ago, and I'm ready to talk about this movie. First of all, I think you should ended that clip. Instead of watching the ball go into the net, you should have immediately switched to Never Gonna Give You Up. I think that would have been hilarious.
Oh, we could have rickrolled. Lost opportunity.
We definitely should in future episodes.
All right, so here's my alliteration for this episode's explanation.
Okay.
Carpenter and Kurt create a comeback with countless cameos.
Perfect.
Okay, so here's the movie. Now I'll try to do as best as I can because this movie is fucked up. Okay, so New York, I mean LA. I actually got confused when I watched the other one. LA has become a prison or some kind of island of undesirables, and the president's plane. Wait. The president's daughter steals a device and then flees there with a Cuban dictator of sorts.
Yes.
Who seems to run LA at this point, and Snake Plisskin is sent to retrieve the something or someone, and as a result, there are several cameos. Excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
Like copious characters, too many to count.
Oh yeah.
And there's a fake disease, and there's lots of bad CGI and death basketball, and just so much to talk about.
Death basketball. Yeah.
Well, it wouldn't be LA with basketball, right?
Death basketball.
Well, I think we've got a feel for what we think of this movie, but why don't we throw it to the general audience with our YouTube comment section?
Wait for this one. Welcome to YouTube, where the comment section is full of
cancer-infested rats. It's a very dangerous snake. It'll kill anybody it comes in contact with.
You're going to notice a theme. I have 4 comments that all highlight this theme, and then a very, very long comment that just kind of goes off into the weeds, but I felt like it was worth mentioning. Number 1.
Cool.
I'm going to read it in their voice, too. Escape from L.A. used to be an action sci-fi film. Now it's a historical drama. Comment number 2. Watching this years ago, I was not a fan. I just didn't realize back then it was a documentary on the future. Next comment.
Oh, God.
Well, nowhere near as good as the classic Escape from New York. This is a good movie and sadly looks more like a preview of things to come rather than a fiction. Next comment. Carpenter was ahead of his time because this movie sucked back in the day. Now it's a documentary.
God.
I'll be revisiting that theme during the catch-all because I have a few things to say about that. And the last comment.
Yeah.
This movie is ridiculously over the top, but that's why I love it. It's completely tonally disparate with Escape from New York, despite being a rehash of the same plot beats, but it's such a fun time that I can't be mad at it. How could you not be entertained by Snake Plisskin playing basketball or surfing? The side characters are all very memorable too. I love Hershe, parentheses Pam Grier. Despite the silly name, she makes for very good trans representation by 90s American media standards with her badass attitude. Obviously, there's many parallels you could draw between the movie's president and our current rapist bigot in chief, parentheses, excluding the fact that he's not really a Christian and simply uses it to sucker morons into voting for him, end parentheses. But that's a discussion for another time. Then why'd you bring it up?
Whoa.
One more compliment
Yeah,
I'll
why'd
pay
you bring
this
it up?
movie is the fight choreography between Snake and Cuervo Jones is excellent. It really feels like a fight between two men with loads of military experience. An excellent, if not deeply flawed movie that I'm glad I can watch virtually anytime now. So there we have it.
Off the record.
And that was off the paid version. I didn't pay for it. I pirated it, and then we all shared the pirated copy because
Yes, we did.
Not that we suggest you do the same.
But I like doing the paid versions because those are people that threw down money because A, they just like didn't know better and they wanted to see what it was all about and they wanted to go through the proper channels, or B, they loved it so much they wanted to give it another $4.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a fair point. Should we see how it does against other movies like it?
Yes.
Why don't we throw it to
Yes.
test number 1, the worst of its kind, then?
That's some bad news and some good news.
I've got some good news and I've got some bad news.
We got some bad news.
This movie is the worst of its kind.
Okay. We had to do it. Escape from New York
Yeah.
is our first one. Kurt Russell there as well. And that was an 88.
Justifiably so, I
Okay.
think, too.
Yeah,
For what it
I
is.
agree.
Yeah, for what it is, it
Perfect
was like,
number.
yeah.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. Christine with Keith Gordon and Alexandra Paul, 69. I think that's the Evil Car movie, right?
Oh, love it.
Yeah.
Love that movie.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, 69.
Well done.
Not bad. Not bad.
Yeah.
Assault on Precinct 13, Austin Stoker. I mean, that's old. That's like a 70s movie, I think.
That is John Carpenter's first scene movie.
Okay. Well,
All right.
that explains it. Why it's in the
It's not bad.
pack. Yeah. Well, it has a 96.
All right.
Yeah.
They live. This one's come up before. It's Roddy Piper, the wrestler.
Yeah.
Also John Carpenter.
Oh, okay. Well, there's the theme. Okay, I'm glad that you knew that because I didn't. That one in 86, and then Darkman, one that I love, and I know a couple listeners who love it too. That's Liam Neeson, an 83.
Okay.
That's Sam Raimi. And yes. Good
It is
number.
Raimi. Yeah, definitely. An average of a staggering 84.4 for Escape from LA. What did it get?
Based on the fact that this is such a stark and accurate portrayal of exactly how the world is today, I would say, I don't know, based on the YouTube comments, like a 65.
Okay.
I'm going closer to 25.
All right. Actually, a 54.
What? No.
So it's a good thing we had a huge, 54. So a huge average, but it actually is only a negative 30.4 and worst of its kind. That is not a terrible score, especially compared to our current season champion. We'll refresh you on that later.
Yeah.
For now, let's throw it to test number 2. Ain't that a pitch?
So tell me the truth, Don, about Ratty. How's his stuff? Great. It's got 4 inches. 4 inches? That's not so hot. Yes, it is. I measured him from the ground up.
Well, isn't that a pitch? All right, who goes first?
I went first last time, so one of you guys.
I guess
go first.
it's my turn. Oh, never mind.
Yeah. Russell, Buscemi, Greer, Campbell, and Keach all together. Snake Plisskin goes deep into Los Angeles nether. But it quickly lost traction with crazy basketball action, but no shot is as hot as Kurt Russell in Fireproof leather.
Nice.
All right. I'll go second, so because you want to go second?
Okay.
You go back in the sandwich. You go back in the second.
Back in the ditch.
Yeah, I need to go back to the sandwich. All right. There once was a spoiled bitch named Utopia. And more characters than necessary, a real cornucopia. I laughed out loud at the name Cuervo Jones.
Same.
Oh, and there's a character named Carjack Malone. And since finishing this, I've been in a state of catatonia.
Okay.
Wow.
So I wrote mine from Snake Plisskin's perspective. So
Interesting.
I'm a badass escapee on a mission. I have no depth perception because of my eye patch condition. I've been injected with poison, but I have cool guns, gadgets, and toys, man. I'm also a hologram when it serves the exposition.
Rob.
Rob 4.
I give him a 4.
No, 4
as well.
5. 4 5.
Okay, 4.25 then, because I'm sticking to my 4.
Perfect.
Well done, Rob. Very nice. All right, let's throw it to test number 3, the most offensive.
Well, Jimmy John, all I said was
Saddles.
go deep, and white guys keep them out if you can on 2. Jimmy, the motherfucker's crazy, but he sure can throw.
That's it from here in Molokai, Hawaii. Back to you.
With the most offensive.
This movie could have been more offensive, in my opinion.
Yeah.
We're gonna do a 5-to-1 countdown. That's a new thing this season. We're gonna start with number 5. Abandoning escorts, escapees, and atheists on an offender-only island. These are working women, runaways, and atheists. What all these people have done to offend the government, I'm not sure. They're all thrown into LA to with the rapists and the murderers to figure it out on their own.
Yeah. Fair.
Yes.
That's a little fucky. I think we're supposed to get that the it's like a Christian nationalism kind of situation.
Yeah.
Take over.
Yes.
There are through lines. So all of those things are behaviors of the sinner who deserves to be punished. Or
as YouTube said, the behaviors of a rapist and bigot president, apparently.
Well, did you see the president from the first movie? I'm willing to bet.
Yeah.
Maybe they were talking about him.
No.
Didn't he have an English accent?
He was from Halloween too. Don't forget.
Yes. Yeah, that's right. That's right.
That was Donald Pleasance.
Yes. So weird that the American president would have a UK accent of some kind.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wild stuff. All right. Number 4, Plisskin protecting Fireproof parka, positively parching president's perverse princess. So they're escaping in a helicopter. He's got fireproof clothes and a fireproof jacket on. He's saving Utopia, the president's daughter. And there's a fire in the back. It's like creeping up to the front.
Yeah.
He does not offer the coat. He just hoards it. And she's like boiling in the passenger seat. And he just doesn't give a shit. Why save her at all?
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I said, there wasn't a whole lot of offensive stuff, so stretching it a little bit this time. Number 3, harvesting human hunks, hoping for healing. This is the Cannibal Project in LA. They're not cannibals, but they're like cutting people's skin off and replacing their own because they're like deteriorating or something. I don't know. I didn't really understand why they were falling apart, but they were apparently replacing their parts.
I think they were addicted to plastic surgery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something like that.
That's Hollywood number 2 for you, am I right?
Number 2, Lackadaisically landing on leveling Los Angeles. This is the president, and it's kind of a theme here at The Worst Movie Ever Made, but we see genocide a lot. Or what is it when you want to destroy an entire planet? That's the one that we also talk about.
Geocide, I guess? Or something?
Yeah, geocide, something like that. Yeah, this happens a lot in movies like this. I guess if you've decided that everyone on the island is a piece of shit anyway, getting rid of them all. But, there's probably kids.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's just a really horrible thing. But nothing as offensive to me. And I want to see how you guys feel about this. As number 1, crappy carbon copy cop-out. Yeah, I find it super offensive. This movie is the first movie. It's like The Hangover 2. It's the thing that everybody complains about Hangover 2 and Hangover 3. It's the same movie. Like, Bob, you've already illustrated some of the through lines from 1 to 2, but it's the exact same movie. I mean, you were making fun of it for that before, but it's offensive to me that they didn't come up with anything new. It's the same exact movie once again.
Yeah.
I agree. Yet I have an offensive plug.
Good. I hope that it's good because I want to add it to possibly future weeks. But go for it.
Yeah. This is our black transgender late entry character being called Hershe.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
I thought that would be your number one.
I didn't want to touch the subject at all, to be honest with you. You never know what people are going to glean from your conversation these days. But I can't agree with you more, Bob. Now that you've let the cat out of the bag, let's bet it. Yeah, it's fucked up. Couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to add before we throw it to Rob's ad read?
I'm good.
Let's do it.
Rob can sell you anything from
Kinky sex
to
midgets in the woods.
In Rob's ad read.
Today's episode of The Worst Movie Ever Made is brought to you by Hot Dogs at 3 a.m. offshoot, the 45 caliber hollow point Vienna sausage slug. With the 45 caliber hollow point Vienna sausage slug, you can play Russian roulette with your health, and that's exactly what we're here for. You can buy 3 different varieties at your local medical testing facility, including moist, more moistlier, and absolutely sopping with miscellaneous fluids. Stay, bite the bullet, and put an extra nuggie in the chamber for an emergency. Hot Dogs at 3 a.m. Embrace the void.
Very nice. Okay, Vienna sausage bullets?
45 caliber Vienna sausage slugs. Yes. Hollow point.
Yes, love it. Okay, awesome. Thank you so much for joining. We really appreciate the support, and I hope everyone goes out and gets their slugs.
Yes.
Test number 4, the worst dialogue.
Where the hell did that snake come from?
Would you believe up through the toilet?
Just when you thought it was safe to take a pee.
That's really bad dialogue.
Okay, now we get into those fun sound bites. Number 5. Here's Smoke Free.
You know, you're becoming very predictable.
Yeah, I guess so. You gotta smoke.
The United States is the no-smoking nation. No smoking, no drinking, no drugs, no women. Unless, of course, you're married. No guns, no foul language, no red meat.
Land of the free.
Land of the free.
Yeah, as he stares off into the distance.
It sounds like Cartman when he's like in his Brad Pitt get up in the World War Zimmerman episode.
That's awesome. Number.
Ooh.
Wait, hold on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead. No, go ahead, Bob.
That goes back to most offensive. He said no women, as if it's a male-dominated society.
Oh yeah.
True. Yeah, that's. I didn't even pick up on that one.
Oh,
Bob,
you should have said no. Should have said no sex.
Yeah.
Yeah. True.
That's true.
Something.
Yeah, it's suggesting
sorry,
a sexual subordinate. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, but what about men? Like, what if you're into that? Is that cool? We don't know.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well, of course not, because it's no Christian, anti-Christian shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose. But what if the president's like really into other dudes and like?
Exactly.
But that's okay. You know.
So anyway, we uncovered it's more offensive than Chris led on to.
Yes.
That's true.
Woo.
That Greco-Roman sex style president they've got.
Greco-Roman.
All right, let's throw it now. I want to hear that soundbite again, please.
Yeah.
4.
Perfect timing right after that. Okay, and let's just keep it going with Hot Shot.
Nice to be working with you, Hotshot.
You better hope I don't make it back. All of you.
Core burner, magnesium ammo, 500 extra rounds. Oral projectile, mouth dart. If the dart is filled with urolite, it will stun the enemy for several seconds.
Every member of the rescue team had a tracking chip implanted in his arm. I think one of them might still be alive. Use the tracer in your watch to locate him.
This is a holocam. It's a portable holographic camera. It'll project your image up to a half-mile away. 100% audio send and receive capabilities.
It's a prototype. Confuse and deceive the enemy.
Now, it has a mini-nuke battery, good for about 8 minutes, but you can only use it once.
So you better save it for when it counts. Stick matches. Plain old-fashioned stick matches. Never know when you might need them.
Where are my guns?
I thought you might want those.
Yeah, just a lame rundown of the. It's such a trope, the arsenal. You know, all the things that he's gonna have. I love that he whispers, "All of you." It's a very Steven Seagal moment. I don't know if Steven Seagal got it here or other way around. Yeah. The hologram thing is a prototype.
Yeah,
I like that. So is he testing it? Is that field testing?
Yeah, why would you beta test on such an important mission? That's a very good point.
Right.
I love that the dart stuns your enemy for several seconds. So like if you're about to shoot each other, but like instead of shooting them, you shoot a dart so that you have an extra few seconds to shoot them. Like, yeah. I mean, we know how it ends up turning out, but like, why not a minute? Why not kill him with the dart?
It'll stun them for more than 7 seconds. Well, how long? 8 seconds.
Last thing on that, there's a mini-nuke battery in the prototype. I think they just were like hot on nuclear power too, because the submarine is nuclear powered as well. Yeah. The mini-nuke battery. Never heard of that one. Yeah, maybe it was also in those TV dinners, the real TV dinners.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
maybe.
Please don't remind me.
All right, let's throw it to number 3. This is premise.
After the devastation, the Constitution is amended, and the newly elected president accepts a lifetime term of office. The country's capital is relocated from Washington, D.C. to the president's hometown of Lynchburg, Virginia. Los Angeles Island is declared no longer part of the United States and becomes the deportation point for all people found undesirable or unfit to live in the new moral America. The United States police force, like an army, is encamped along the shoreline, making any escape from LA impossible. From the southeastern hills of Orange County to the northwestern shore of Malibu, the Great Wall excludes LA from the mainland. The president's first act as permanent commander-in-chief is Directive 17. Once an American loses his or her citizenship, they are deported to this island of the damned, and they never come back.
Nice.
After the devastation,
Sorry. Go ahead.
No, you're cool. It's just super corny.
Rob,
why?
to your point, Rob, there was a screenwriter I heard on a podcast talk about once that they used to go to movie theaters, and anytime the name of the movie came up in the screenplay, they would do a loud "bakak" in the theater.
Perfect. As they should. That's awesome.
And
as they should.
I think of it every time I hear a title grab in the movie. I just think of a good bird sound.
Yeah, it's awesome. The Constitution is immediately amended after like a big earthquake to make the president a full term, like perennial president. Why?
For power, man.
Why is that the move?
Because they knew that in 2020 there would be a super cold, and the powers that be, man, will force the vaccinations on us, which were actually a ticking time bomb in our necks.
Yeah. All right. Good point.
Obama.
Yeah. Rob, in my notes, I did write that they mentioned Escape from LA, but you said it first, so good job. And then I just like Directive 17. They just picked a number.
Yeah.
The first thing he does.
Yeah.
For his Directive 17, not 1, but the 17 thing is the first thing he does, and it's throw everybody on LA that's like undesirable. There aren't better things to do, like recover from the earthquake.
Yeah.
Like destroyed half of the country.
That was 1 through 16.
Yeah. Implying that there were 16 more attempts.
All right, let's throw it to number 2. This is EMP.
Well, I originally heard about this when I was working for NASA. Check this out. Common, ordinary remote control unit. Yeah? Everyone's got one, right? Here's the kicker. This instruction disc hooks you right into the Sword of Damocles, the ultimate defensive weapons system. You see that? There's a ring of satellites encircling the Earth. Attached to each satellite is a mega neutron bomb. When detonated, each satellite unleashes an intense electromagnetic pulse. But EMP doesn't harm a living thing. What it does do is shut down every known power source. All electrical devices, cars, airplanes, toasters, computers, everything, even batteries. But this makes this an aiming device that gives the user incredible accuracy. You can pinpoint precisely what you want to shut down. A taxi cab in Buenos Aires, the entire country of Spain. Amazing, brilliant. Hell, you could key in all the satellites and shut down the whole planet. Send it right back to the Dark Ages.
Let's face it, he's dead.
So, like, the way the government got their chokehold on the proletariat was making sure that their bagels could not be warmed up in the morning.
Yeah, exactly. The fucking toaster. That's awesome. I love how he says the kicker. The kicker is that you can, with this little disc, you can log into the Sword of Damocles, which has mega neutron bombs attached to the satellites. But that's not what's important. It's the bombs don't even work. It's the EMP though. That's what you got to worry. You got to worry about the EMP.
Right.
All right, let's draw it to number
1, Daddy.
I think this is going to be Bob's favorite after the drum roll.
You know what? Fuck it.
This is Carjack.
Oh, more things change, more they stay the same, huh, Carjack? Glad to see you're still packing my gun between your legs.
Hold on, honey.
You owe me. Bolted on me back in Cleveland.
Hershe, you were in Cleveland?
Oh, yeah. With me in Texas, Mike O'Shea, except you looked a little different in those days, Carjack.
You get one thing straight, Plisskin. I'm no longer Carjack Malone. Appreciate us promised the most drop-dead to die for. Never ever lay that one eye.
I don't give a fuck what you are. I want to know what the hell happened to you in
I was
Cleveland.
called away on urgent business. I got caught. You didn't.
Don't lie to me.
All right, so I made another deal. I got my ass kicked, not you. I've been in here 5 years, not you.
I got a new deal for you. You help me, you live.
Hold on, I wouldn't do that, Snake. You see, we all have an agreement. Anything happens to me and you dead.
I'm already dead.
I see your point. What's the deal?
Give me to Cuervo Jones. I got 1 hour.
A dream on blue eye.
Say goodnight, Carjack.
Hold on.
Nice.
Yeah. The gun between the legs line is you still have a penis.
Yeah,
very thinly veiled. And when Pam Greer's like, "You're dead," I love that. But nothing beats the moment when he's like, when Pliskin's like, "Yeah, Carjack, me, and Texas Mike O'Shea." Like everybody's supposed to know who Texas Mike O'Shea is. It's like Directive 17. It's just they were like, what sounds like a good guy who would like be on a mission?
Yeah. And we're under the implication that like this dystopia has been established for a while, so people don't have entertainment or like news that's not fed directly to them from their government.
Yeah.
So why would anybody get that reference?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Because everybody knows the crazy Irish Texan that like does secret missions with Snake Plisskin, I guess.
Yeah.
All right, that's all we got for dialogue. Let's throw it to test number 5. Bob will take it away with the worst production.
All right, everybody. That was a great production. Good job, everybody. Let's get this premiere ready, guys. We did it.
In a pig's ass.
Oh.
You saying a pig's ass?
Yeah.
The worst production.
Yes. And as I said before, and I'll say it again, this is not a sequel. It's a remake. And a very bad one. So that's my tagline. Now, sequels exist for 2 reasons. Either there's a more story to tell in rare occasions, or it's a money grab.
Yeah.
More often, the second one. And this was neither, right? So here's my argument. It's the same story as the original, but disjointed and sloppy, unlike the original.
Yeah.
So more story was not to tell. So that wasn't the purpose. It lost $25 million at the box office.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it wasn't a cash grab. So that's not the reason.
Yeah.
This movie is evidence of why sequels rarely make it to my watch list. And maybe that's a personal note, but still, that's my note. And that's it.
And to your point, Bob, I looked at the finances, and it lost as much as the first one made off a way smaller budget. So like,
so they just threw the profits in the
here's the zero, and they like absolute valued from there.
That sucks. Yeah. But they deserve it for making this choice. And Bob, I agree that I it's not that I don't watch sequels; it's that I never have high hopes for them. I go in knowing that it's very unlikely it's going to be any good.
Yeah, I just watched like 30 sequels in the last 6 months. So we'll talk about that later, though.
Yeah, we will. All right, let's for now throw it to some more clips. We've got a few, and then just a really fun, fast one at the end. This is test number 6, the worst acting.
You should get in, Rowdy. The water is great.
Are you kidding? I've got better things to do with my body temperature.
Like act in a bad movie.
Okay, let's throw it to number 1. This is Utopia.
At 10:30 hours Wednesday, a group of government officials began a tour of the Benford Space Defense Lab. The president's daughter, Utopia, was among them. Somehow during the tour, she came into possession of a top-secret prototype unit. 1 hour later, she boarded Air Force 3 for Lynchburg.
To the American people, now is the time to rise up and demand the surrender of the president and his corrupt theocracy of lies and terror.
At 11:40 hours, she hijacked Air Force 3. We scanned this onto the VR. Check it out.
Today is day 1 of a brand new world. The days of empire are finished. To the president, my father, you know what's in here. And unless you open your borders, allow all the wrongfully accused to return to their country, I will use this on you and on the United States.
They lost Air Force 1 and 2 during the first 16 operatives, I guess, right?
Right.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, somehow I didn't even hear that. I like those little details, but that one didn't stick out to me for some reason. I think she's just awful. Is she in anything else? I didn't recognize her either.
I don't know.
She's in lots of stuff, but nothing of note.
Yeah, probably because she's bad.
Good Occam's razor, yeah. Simplest explanation is always the best.
She was in more as a kid and a teenager, and not good in those things either.
Okay. Yeah, she didn't flourish the way that they hoped, I suppose. Let's throw it to number 2. This is Elevato.
Some people think you're already dead, Snake. Some say you never will be. Because you may have survived Cleveland. You may have escaped from New York. But this is LA, Vato. And you're about to find out that this fucking city can kill anybody!
We're gonna escape Cleveland. We're gonna escape Chicago. We're gonna escape Montana.
Yeah, the guy playing Cuervo is not great, as you just saw. I love how the whole city is like chanting LA, though. It's like nobody wants to be there, for sure. All right, number 3. This is a surprising admission, but here it is nonetheless. Final Solution.
Oh, that's familiar.
Yeah.
I don't need the teleprompter. This is the President of the United States. I now demand an immediate retreat of all forces now threatening this great nation. If my demand is not met immediately, I will destroy your ability to function permanently.
Mr. President, the Cuban theater of aggression remains mobile. ETA Miami in 4 minutes.
4 minutes. Bring the aiming coordinates for Cuba and Mexico online.
Cuba, 779.
779. I now render this final solution.
Welcome to your very own map to the stars. Sure, we all know the big one wiped out the entertainment industry here in LA, but the glamour and excitement of Hollywood is still alive.
Very funny.
They did that in the first one too with the tape switcheroo.
Yep.
Yeah. Just literally everything. I thought that was just poorly acted. I don't know. Is it the script? Because
yes,
it's everything.
Yeah, everything about this. I don't know. It's one of those movies, and we said this in the past, but like nobody's proud of. I don't think anybody's super excited to be a part of it.
John Carpenter is very proud of this movie.
Dude, he's so fucking happy with it.
Rob joked about that on a text message earlier, but it's absolutely true.
Yeah, I was reporting what I read to you guys.
Yes.
He fucking loves it. He thinks it's better than the first. He's like, I'm super stoked that people are seeing like the genius of it now, retroactively. My movies are always slow burn, and its brilliance finally like made itself apparent. Like, that's me summarizing what he said, basically.
But it hasn't yet for me. It hasn't made itself apparent yet for me.
Right.
I'm a movie buff, not really a movie critic. But I can't say that I found anything really redeeming about this movie.
No. Escape from New York was fucking sick, though.
it was good.
When we do sequel episodes, I never watch the source material that like generated the sequel, but like I heard it was so good. I had to watch it because I hadn't seen it.
It is good.
Yeah.
And it was good. It was very good.
It is good. I agree. All right,
Not great, but good.
Yes.
I would say put it in like solid B plus territory.
It's like an A for a B movie. It's how I would describe it. Yeah.
Yes.
Good. Yeah. So we'll give it a B plus. There you go. All right. Let's throw it to a very, very quick, very fun clip. We've got two more actually, because we're gonna play one at the end of the catch-all too. Another really fun clip. But for now, let's just do number 4. This is Hologram.
He's not even here. He's a hologram.
Catches on quick, doesn't she?
That's it. Rob, one more time.
1 second, I gotta get the timestamp set up. Okay.
He's not even here. He's a hologram.
Catches on quick, doesn't she?
Were they waterboarding her while that line was delivered?
Yeah.
What happened there? It's just some
It
crazy
was
stuff.
a call back to the beginning of the movie, which is so irritating.
Yes, it is, and then because she says to Snake or to Stacy Keach and Bruce Campbell like, oh, he catches on quick, doesn't he?
Yeah,
so he flipped it. It was like one of those cruel irony moments where he like flipped it on her.
Yeah,
super lame. Okay, Bob, why don't you take it away with fact or no fact?
Confucius say, man with deadly hands must be very careful while slapping on aftershave.
Fact or no fact?
All right. So the movie is called Escape from LA, and I called it Raped in LA.
Okay.
Which is probably a little harsh, but I felt
maybe.
I felt that feeling.
You felt violated.
I assume. Yeah, I'm gonna say I assume because I've never been violated, unfortunately. Anyway, so my I didn't say that. So so I'm gonna read 5 things, and one of them is a lie, and you have to find what the lie is. And this is a game, and Chris is gonna win. We hope.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
No, well, Chris hopes at least. Okay.
Yeah,
so first
the whole
thing,
audience hopes.
the whole
Obviously,
listening audience.
We get a lot of emails about that.
Yeah.
Everybody's rooting for me.
We get tens of
We
emails
do.
a year about this.
Tens a decade. Okay, so the first fact or no fact is that Kurt Russell's wife at the time stars as the woman who cuts his hand at the beginning of the walk down the corridor sequence.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, second one, Tony Hawk, famous skateboarder Tony Hawk.
Yeah.
Was used as a stunt double during the surfing scene.
Okay.
All right. Third one. The Sunset Boulevard scene was filmed in a landfill.
Yeah.
Which is a dump, for those that don't know the terms.
Mm-hmm.
Fourth one. To get into character as a transgender woman, Pam Grier would put a sock in her pants during shooting.
Okay.
And lastly, the film was filmed almost entirely at night. The production actually went 70 days without a daylight shot.
Wow.
Okay.
There's your 5 facts or not facts.
So the wife one, I don't have enough to go off of because I don't intensely study the life of Kurt Russell in my spare time. So that's up in the air. Tony Hawk was used as a stunt double during the surfing scene. I'm trying to think of how old he was because I feel like Tony Hawk's been in our lives since the X Games got popular and his game came out, but he's still only early 50s. He's young. So I think he's young. So I don't know how old he would have been during this. Was he in his late teens or was he in his 20s already? Maybe his 30s. I don't know. Sunset Boulevard scene was filmed in a landfill. I mean, that seems a bit redundant because Sunset Boulevard is a landfill. To get into character as a trans woman, Pam Grier put a sock in her pants during shooting. I don't know how that helped. That's not exactly method acting. That's just shoving laundry down your pants. So I'm not sure. And the film was filmed almost entirely at night. I believe that. Whether or not there was a daylight shot at some passing moment, I don't know. I was kind of focused on the character development that was so tremendously done in this film. So I might have lost some of the background to the foreground on that. I'm gonna say the lie is Tony Hawk, just because I think he was still being super busy skating. I don't know if he necessarily had time to do a week of shooting at that point in his life. I think he was still not quite a household name, but still actively competing all the time. So I'm gonna say two's the lie.
Okay. I believe that the Sunset Boulevard scene was in a landfill. It looked like that there were piles of shit and trash everywhere, so it's easier to just film it there. I believe that the film was almost entirely filmed at night. I don't remember much, if any, daytime shots. Maybe I don't even feel like the military zone was during the day. I can't think of a daytime shot, to be honest. So I guess the one that's sticking out at me is Pam Grier put a sock in her pants.
Yeah.
Because you already took the Tony Hawk one. I think he was popular by '96. It might have been in his early 20s. Yeah. So it's possible, but why not get a famous surfer? Surfing was super popular in the '90s too. Yeah. Not as much as skateboarding. And now I'm suspicious of number one, Kurt Russell's wife was the one that cut his hand, just because it's one of those ones that can go either way, and Bob likes to screw us over with his Bob foolery. So between number one and number four, Bob. Okay, I'm gonna go with number one. I'm gonna go with number one.
One, Daddy.
Nice, Rob.
I'm going to deflate Rob right away because he keeps winning. Tony Hawk and another pro skateboarder were used as doubles during the surfing scene.
Okay. All right. Was he wearing a wig and an eye patch? Because that's a wild image.
I think they probably just put those sensor balls on him or whatever.
I'm going to guess I'm gonna guess yes. I'm gonna say yes. They did.
I gotta find that picture. keep going through. I'm gonna try to find that picture. Tony Hawk.
Chris is right. Sunset Boulevard is a landfill, or should I say, was film is a landfill.
We gotta make we gotta make a bumper that goes small victory for like Chris or something.
Yeah.
You know? Just like every time I get a little win, we'll play that. Or
and the movie was. The movie, as disappointingly so, filmed at night entirely, almost entirely. The production did go 70 days without a daylight shot. And nice. Chris, you were right to waver between 1 and 4, and you were right. Whoop!
Oh,
Pam Grier did put a sock in her pants. During shooting. She did.
So, all right. So I did. I thought you were gonna swerve me at the end there. I was so nervous.
So remember who watched Escape from New York?
Me.
Well, I didn't this week, but I've seen it 10 times.
Okay. Do you remember at the beginning-ish when they're establishing the story, when the president's plane is being hijacked by this crazy woman who just keeps screaming like "Death to America" or whatever she's screaming, and she cracked. That's Kurt Russell's wife at the time.
Okay.
She played that part in that movie, and that marriage didn't last very long. I want to say during Escape from L.A., he was married to Goldie Hawn or something.
Okay.
All I know is I pulled that fact from the other movie.
All right.
Sort of.
Cool.
What a fucking
so there we have it.
You called it, Bob. Chris did win. Chris did win this one.
Chris wins.
Not a huge surprise.
A legitimate Chris win. A legit Chris win. Which is rare.
Which is most.
Usually it's a fabricated Chris win.
No, come on. I'd say most of them are legit wins.
Yeah.
I fabricate once in a while when when I'm feeling.
You might as well be a welder, Chris.
All right, let's start to the catch-all before I get any more heat for this.
If brains were birchin, you'd have a clean cage.
Yeah! Welcome to the catch-all.
Sorry, I don't have a fireproof parka, and I'm sitting right next to the vents.
Oh, no.
I've got the heat blasting, so... Yeah, I'm suffering a little bit here, guys.
Yeah.
Military Zone in 2013 is the only thing we see in the New America other than LA.
Yeah.
It feels like in Battlefield Earth when they they're establishing what was it? Like
New Denver or whatever. It was like Denver.
It was Denver. Yeah, it was
the human processing center.
The establishing shot.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then they show, and then halfway through the movie they realize that they haven't shown like any of the rest of the world. So they go to like Fort Knox, and then they go to the Capitol, and it just all looks super shitty and forced in. Like it felt like they never even had the thought that the movie feels way too small because they don't show any of it.
Insular, I guess, is the word.
Yeah,
it's just too small. It's like too too
before I throw it to say Bob, it is there that we hear this announcement over the speakers at the military zone that goes, "Tactical alert, remain in battle stations."
Yes.
All right. You want to go to Bob, and we'll because my camera view, I'll be able to just keep track of it.
Yeah. I'm gonna say really bad mid-90s CGI helicopter mall spotlight nonsense.
Yeah.
Yes. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I read somewhere that the guys who were doing the CGI were like new to the process and admittedly said they didn't know what they were doing. They just did CGI for the first time in their lives, and it turned out
tracks.
Bad.
That totally tracks.
I wrote Sharknado style CGI to back you up.
Right.
Yeah.
Like Sci-Fi Channel CGI of today.
Yeah.
Rob?
All right. So I have a list here, but I'm going to go in order based on your first point, Chris. I would love to see a third film called Escape from the Flyover State, where he just like walks out of Nebraska and he's fine. Because they only did like the two major cultural like hubs in our country. Like there's a whole area of land between those two states called America, where like other shit happens, where like most of the food comes from, and
the dairy land of the USA.
Yeah, so I just felt like to see like that version would be awesome. Like he's just hiding in a barn with like a flamethrower.
Did you guys feel like they kept teasing Cleveland to see like if this movie did well? Maybe they'd do like a prequel in Cleveland. Like shove
You
one
want to
in
know
the-
why? Do you want to know why it was Cleveland?
Yeah.
Apparently, John Carpenter met a guy in Cleveland whose name was Snake Plisskin.
Oh, okay.
No shit.
And it was like an in joke.
You know what?
I did a deep dive on this and the original movie. I got more stuff if you want it.
Cool, yeah.
That
Keep
that
coming.
totally tracked for the name thing because I worked for a payroll company for 5 years. I'd process hundreds and hundreds of like payroll rosters a week, and for most of like my fiction writing today, like 10 years later, I recalled the funny names that were on the payroll sheets and just used them in my writing.
That's perfect. Yeah,
That's
what
great.
Source? I think it's really funny that he keeps going on the subject too. He keeps going, "Call me Snake," which he doesn't do in the first movie.
Yeah.
No, he does.
He does it once.
Oh, does he?
He does it once. I think.
Twice.
Twice. Okay. Well, not like 25 times like in L.A.
Well, I guess he's just really proud of the name Snake. Then still funny.
I'm Smasher.
Yeah, you hawk. I'm Smasher. Well, I want to do that one again.
Yeah, we should. I think it's your turn, Chris.
Oh, that was mine.
Oh.
I mean, I'll go again, but Bob. Yeah.
Well, then I'm gonna say Cuervo Jones, fucking hysterical. I laughed my ass off. Cuervo, which is obviously Hispanic, and then Jones, which is like they
Jones.
gave up. They gave up halfway through the naming
they
of the
did.
villain.
See the bottom there?
Yeah,
they're like
Cuervo
I
Jones?
literally had to pause the video the first time I heard that. I'm like, the villain's name is Cuervo Jones.
Cuervo Jones.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
What was Juanita Smith taken?
Yeah.
Juanita Smith.
This is a very weird parallel, but I need to bring it up. They're trying to like make him cool for like the kids because he's like really good at basketball. He knows how to surf. So I raise a question: do you think they cut a scene where like they have like a guitar solo competition between the basketball and the surfing scene, like a la Back to the Future? Like he invents like I don't know, like a corn song or something. Like before they did it.
I was thinking he's on the rooftop at sunset with his guitar like the Crow.
Yeah.
I
can't rain all the time. Sorry.
Yeah. I've got willy-nilly electro execution is what they called it. It's like if you just want to get electrocuted, you can. You know. Like
Instead of serving your sentence, right? They just like,
yeah, exactly. Yeah. In LA, you could just have them shock you there.
Yeah.
Oh, the way they filmed the executions was, in my opinion, hysterical.
Yeah.
Yes, agreed.
Even though it was supposed to be it was supposed to be terrifying, but it was absolutely hysterical.
Not terrifying at all.
Good on you, Chris, for mentioning that one. I'm gonna go with 3 in a row here. Okay. Peter Fonda, Tool, and Robert Carradine. So Peter Fonda was the surfing guy.
Yeah.
Tool was a band.
Yeah.
And they played their music, and I geeked out. And Robert Carradine, he was the first guy that Snake killed. He was famous for Revenge of the Nerds, and also more famous for being the son of, I don't know, old-timey Hollywood movie actor John Carradine.
Oh,
okay.
How about that?
And
was he the ball guy throwing like knives?
He was the ball guy. Yes, he was.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I heard the Tool song too, but I don't like Undertow era Tool. They didn't find their sound yet. But like, it had that Maynard James Keenan Jarls.
This was actually the album that came before Undertow. This was
Opiate. Opiate.
Yeah. The song was Sweat.
Yeah. I'm not a fan of that era, but I do appreciate a good Tool record.
I was.
Okay, so here's the thing that's tying back to the I like Anima and Lateralis. Those are the shit. Here's a comment that goes back to the YouTube comments. Here's my whole thing. they're saying like, oh, this is like a documentary on how the future's gonna be. The future's gonna be, you know. So I wrote down Orwellian government that wants to be seen as infallible immediately broadcasts Snake's incarceration and then lets him out of prison where everybody could see him publicly, which contradicts their desired image of total control.
Factual.
Deep. That's a deepity.
Yeah.
Well, that's
Deep cut.
an actual deep one. Yeah.
Yeah. But that it bothered me to no end because like I don't know, the comments bother me because like it's like it happened with the Trump election where I was like, we're living in 1984. We're living in 1984. It's like, no, we're not. You just bought the book and you're saying that because you saw that somewhere said by somebody else. And
Makes you sound like an intellectual.
And when Orwell wrote 1984 in like the 40s or 50s, he wasn't predicting the future. He was basically using future speak to explain how he thought things were in present day.
Yeah.
So Escape from LA in no way resembles like anything I've ever seen in my day-to-day interactions anyways. So
That's right.
Yeah. So there's that.
High tech in the 90s meant black screen with highlighter green font.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
That's fine.
Exactly. All right.
Could you imagine if they had like those iMacs with the handles in the back, like those see-through blue ones, and that was all in all their, you know, those computers that we used to have in like the computer lab in like grade school.
Oh,
They were,
yeah,
like, those,
yeah.
They had like the built-in handle.
The one that they're smashing in Zoolander.
Yeah.
To try to get the files inside the computer. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, right. All right. So I wrote down earthquakes and destruction decimated all, but the street signs stay. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mulholland Drive among them.
Yeah, many of them. Like pretty much all of them.
Yeah. Wow, those things were deeply rooted, I guess.
Yeah.
They were.
So I wrote a line of dialogue in reference to the primary antagonist in this film, and I'm going to read it to you right now. We're just kidding. We actually didn't poison you this time. So next time we need you, you'll have absolutely no reason to trust us. Whoopsie.
True.
Because if they were going to open this up for like a third film, it's just like, and they're like, oh, we put this thing inside. He's like, all right, then I'm just going to like go over there at the end.
Yeah. I hope they do one. I hope they do
Fool
one
me
now
three
with
times.
Kurt Russell in his 60s. That'd be
great.
dope. I have nuclear-powered personal submersible. There's just too much submarine. And also, they say the submarine's power plant is overloading when he's driving it really fast.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's power plant because it's nuclear. They just have no idea what they're talking about.
Can I propose a new piece of terminology for our lexicon on the show?
Absolutely.
And I'm going to call it power plant logic.
Okay.
Because I feel like now that you brought it up, there's probably been instances in the past that we could have brought that up. So just moving forward, let's just keep that in the backs of our minds. Yeah.
Okay.
Power plant
Like
logic.
faulty pipe.
like it.
Yeah.
Faulty pipe logic. It's like one of those.
Yeah. Exactly.
Dope.
Okay. In regards to death basketball, everyone is in the line of fire at the basketball court.
Oh,
when they shoot the guy before Snake, everyone's in the line of fire. They all shot each other basically.
I have the same fucking thing.
All right.
Just kind of looking forward to it.
That happens a lot in movies when it's just like there's a common target in the middle and people are just facing each other with automatic weapons. Just like blah, 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 blah.
In our movies, yes. Not in most good movies, no.
Yeah, MCU for sure. So using 666 as a launch code is almost as bad as using password as a password.
I have that also.
Okay.
Yeah. Damn it. You guys are using up all my... Anyway. Mortal Kombat Annihilation style establishing shot of LA. I kind of mentioned this already. But as soon as they're showing like where he is as he's walking on the Sunset Boulevard, it's a far away shot. You know the towers that they show in Mortal Kombat Annihilation?
Yeah, yeah.
And they're like climbing up them. The CGI just looks so bad.
Yeah.
It's same kind of bad CGI here. That drove me fucking crazy.
Fair.
So I wrote that when Carjack Malone was introduced, it was well into the third act, and they started like spouting exposition, and I got irritated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I call it third act exposition.
Ooh,
Do you think at one point that was like an earlier scene and they moved it like later in the timeline without like any regard for continuity, or you think they just shot it like
Well,
that?
if you remember the first movie, when he first met the Steve Buscemi-like character, he was both. He was the guy from the past and the guy that could snake them into
you're right.
Cabby
into situations.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So they split it up between characters because I think they wanted to get more cameos.
Probably,
honestly.
Yeah. There's one scene I thought was badass until we found out about the holograms. When Snake's first about to go on his mission, he's like, who's giving me the antidote? Not you guys, right? And they're like, no. And he just immediately just like unloads on them.
Yeah.
Or they were clips. They weren't holograms. They were clips, and they're blanks in the gum. Yeah. That if he actually shot them dead, that'd be a badass scene. I thought they had like lost potential there. It's like, I don't need you anymore. Like, that would have been at least funny, Yeah.
Yeah, I like that he tried. I agree. We'll give him that.
I agree.
Yeah.
Somewhere in the movie that I think it was the Carradine. Robert Carradine?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think when Snake is walking away, Carradine's like, "Look at my face when I talk to you, shit heel." Not an effective insult.
Yeah.
I think I'm way ahead of you guys on timeline, but flying?
Yeah. I wrote.
They're not gliding. They're not gliding. They're flying.
Your Hunter of the Future style, like pterodactyl flying.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, they're not gliding. They're not floating to the ground. They're flying at ease.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
And shooting while doing it.
Yes.
Yes. It was one of the scenes in our clips when the president is dialing the numbers onto the remote.
7.
Did anybody else just get like a flashback of like teaching their parents how to like control out the lead on their computer?
I almost said it then. Yeah. Same exact thought. That's really funny.
Here's the memory you brought up to me. This happened when I used to work in an office job. You're standing behind someone's shoulder, and like they're slowly dragging the cursor across the screen, but like the computer's locked up, so like the little arrow cursor turns into like the finger that points. That's a one click, and they slowly double click with the finger button, and then they like and there's like, I don't know what's going on. It, like made me sweat.
Yeah, no, I get it.
You just described a majority of my job, by the way.
Oh, I don't know that. I can't imagine.
Here's a very quick offensive trope. I couldn't put it in the offensive because I don't know whether I dreamed this up or if it actually happened.
Okay.
But walking through Sunset Boulevard, Snake is met with an Asian man during something in a walk, and you hear a very quick Asian style soundtrack like flare in the just like a blang 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 blang, like while he's walking, and we've seen this in so many movies.
They do that
most notably Cyborg.
They do it in good movies too. It's just like, and like whenever it's like a Middle Eastern person, you always hear like the
Yes.
Bob?
All right, I'm gonna say it before Chris does. Stormtroopers galore.
Oh my god!
Oh hell yeah! Too true. If you don't know what that is, that's one of our old go-to tropes. But when the bad guys are shooting at the good guys and they can't hit a fucking thing, it's just like Star Wars Stormtroopers.
It was like from the beginning to the end.
Yeah.
Yeah. The only girl that gets hit is that gothic chick, right? And then a couple of like nobodies. Yeah.
I'm going to go with another compliment because I feel like we're beating this movie down and I did sincerely hate it, but I thought the set design was actually pretty cool. Compared to like Escape from New York was a much superior movie, but like if Escape from New York had the Escape from LA set design, like it just looked, it was updated, it was just a better aesthetic update. But when you brought up the point, I wrote that down before you mentioned that the street signs were still intact after all the buildings were leveled, and I'm rethinking my stance a little bit, but I just felt like, like if you're just watching it for what it is, like, it's like a B style campy movie. Like, that's cool. Lots of cool cars broken down. Like, looks like Wasteland. It's pretty cool.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't be behind someone like on the same bike and knock them off and take over the steering. It's not like in a car where, like, if the guy who is controlling the bike falls off of the bike,
you can't
dead. Like just hop forward. Yeah, you're both falling off the bike.
There's a reason motorcycle insurance is way cheaper than car insurance. It's because you are 100% more fucked than whatever object you end up hitting.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yep. I have several 0-hour tropes. Well, I should say more than one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is true. Like the toxin being the number one, which turns out to not be one.
Yeah.
Anyway, but also the president counting down like the seconds before he pulls the EMP shit on his enemies. I still don't quite completely understand that, but anyway, let's keep it moving, I guess.
I don't really have anything else, to be honest.
I got some more.
Partially because I watched both that New York and LA back to back, and I'm starting to confuse the two a little bit. But I don't know. I covered everything I wanted to cover. Like the Orwellian thing is what really pissed me off. Like the total control is like, oh, by the way, this guy's in jail, and we all broadcasted that he's in jail, but like now he's not in jail. That was like my biggest point of contention with this film.
Do you guys remember in Grease 2 when the motorcycle just like jumps over a car?
Yeah.
Yes.
We had one of those. The random ramp for Harley hopping, I wrote.
Oh, nice.
and then probably just like Grease 2, he was probably like some burnt face man was like, we're gonna crush him.
We're gonna kill him when we find out who he is.
Yeah, that guy's hard. He's got a very hard to look at face, but I digress.
Yeah, he really does. But that's why he's the leader of the bad guys and not the good guys, I guess.
That's true.
Yeah,
that's true.
What was the line from Moonfall? I'm gonna like destroy the moon or kill the moon.
Yeah, we're gonna kill the moon.
We have to kill the moon. Yeah.
Right. In this one, he shut down the world.
Yeah, he's just gonna shut down the world.
Yeah.
Oh, fucking ridiculous. I love that the four guys that trap Snake, he's like, all right, why don't we play a little Bangkok rules? And they all agree to spread out and wait for the cam to drop instead of just shooting him. They have him dead to rights. Like they can just shoot him. And then of course he like doesn't play by the rules and kills them and it's badass.
Yeah.
Bob?
Agreed. I'm done.
Yeah. Map of the Stars Eddie is too long of a name.
Yeah.
And Rob, you kind of stole my thunder on this one, but I wrote the cannibals look like influencers.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start calling anything that Chris says past the three of us going back and forth nitpicking.
Fair.
He was gonna leave that punk chick to die there.
Yeah.
In the plastic surgery place.
Yeah.
The surgeon gets stunned, and of course the knife or implement that he has cuts the rope.
Yeah.
And that was Bruce Campbell, by the way.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the Surgeon General is Bruce Campbell.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he's got a lot of makeup on. Castor Troy's brother from Face Off, a movie we must do.
Yes.
Pollux Troy. Don't know the actor's name, but I know what his name is in Face Off.
Yeah.
He was the guy that was like explaining what the EMP was in our clip. Rob, the code is 666. That's lame. Another example of bad guys that definitely would have shot each other, all standing around the basketball court. Bob, to your point.
Yeah.
Super convenient earthquakes, like when they hurt and help all the time. Is that Pam Grier's voice? What's the deal with that? Is she doing that?
It was deepened in post.
Okay. Thank you. And Battle Scene has so many extras running back and forth for no particular reason in no particular direction. Love that.
Facts. Yeah. Yes, facts.
I don't know why, but I wrote bunch of sploseys.
Sploseys?
Explosies, like explosions. Yeah.
Sploseys.
Yeah, that's something like Jay, I think, came up with, but it just popped into my head. At the end, his hologram would also have the trees behind him. When he starts projecting his hologram, the trees would just pop up in the field.
Yeah.
Also, and then they'd be like, he's obviously a hologram.
Yeah.
All right, last thing I wrote, and then we'll do the clip. And this is in the style of Ric Flair, just couldn't help myself. Irreversible submersible driving, tsunami riding, hang gliding, basketball shooting, gun tooting, no saluting, Snake Plisskin. All right, let's throw to the clip. No fucking way.
Yeah.
Check out our YouTube for this one.
www.theworstmovieevermade.com.
Gotta be kidding me.
Yeah.
You Gotta Be Kidding Me should have been the name of the clip. Because you've got to be kidding me. And Steve Buscemi's character, Map of the Stars Eddie, says that himself.
Doesn't he quickly in passing say he's never surfed before either? Like
something he does say something like that.
He just knew how to do that.
I've never done this before.
Yeah, Peter Fonda gave him tips like real quick.
Yeah.
Yes. So you're gonna have to hang 10 on the wave, dude. You
gotta ride that tube,
By the
brother.
way, Steve Buscemi wanted to direct his own movie, so he took this role to help fund it.
No kidding.
Yeah.
That's how, you know, I feel like that's a smart move, though, you know, because aside from the three of us, no one remembers that movie, and he got the money, the bankroll he needed to do what he needed to do.
He's a smart guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he definitely is. I like Buscemi a lot. He's also he was a firefighter in New York.
Yes, he was.
And then he helped clean up the 9/11 catastrophe.
Yep.
Just volunteered to do it.
He also got butt fucked in the Jack Kerouac film adaptation, On the Road.
Nice.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Just a little tidbit for you guys.
Cool. Let's throw it to Rob's Magic Marvel Corner.
This is Rob's Magic Marvel Movie Corner.
Okay, so last week I said I was done with the bit. That's uncharacteristic of me, but I was just fraught with frustration over the runtime of Wakanda Forever. So last night, I decided I downloaded a browser extension for Firefox. I went on to Disney Plus. I watched Black Panther: Wakanda Forever, Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, and then Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, back to back to back, at 4.5x speed with captions, as if I were Alex from Clockwork Orange. And I blasted through the entire remainder of the available for streaming Marvel canon, because the Marvels is still in theaters, and I'm done. But I will field any and all questions in regard to those movies, Marvel in general. So have at it. This is the last time, guys. We did it.
Heard. Got it. Great job, Rob.
All right, thank you.
You stuck to your guns.
I'm worse off for it.
You're a superhero in my book.
Yes. Thank you. Can you call me Robbie Nutso?
Absolutely.
I think that's really cool.
Bob, you or me?
Yeah, I'll start. So, does this make you want to avoid comic adaptations in the future, or give them a chance because you kind of are interested?
I'm going to take a much-needed, well-deserved break. I already reached out to several of my cohorts. Not you guys, because we talk about movies all the time, and there's always things in the group chat. But I was just like, I freed up 3 hours a week of my time now. So I want to watch movies that are not superhero-related. But I'll never say never. I think This has been, 6 months in the making of watching a MCU movie every single week. So I will explore in the future, but like it's got to be. I'm kind of over Marvel and DC. I'm not like. I feel like you gotta grow up being like really into that shit your whole life to be into any more adaptations. But like if a new superhero came out or something, I would definitely check it out. Nice.
Rob, who was your favorite non-Avenger character?
Shit. Does Nick Fury count? Even though he's like the head of the Avengers, he's not actually an Avenger.
No, I agree. I don't think he is.
No, I think he's cool. I think the whole SHIELD operation and like Samuel L. Jackson, you just can't go wrong. He's one of those. His participation in the MCU was probably one of my favorite parts, aside from Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah, he's a legend.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Do you think there's a single or more than one movie from this entire series that you watched that you would consider for a bad movie episode?
Oh, Captain Marvel.
Got it.
Yeah, it is. It is bad.
It's like I don't know what the comics are like, but they make her very flighty and flaky. Like during like Endgame or one of the final Avengers movies, like a bunch of shit's happening on Earth, and she's like, "Oh, I'm just so busy doing other shit that doesn't involve this critical storyline that the rest of the cinematic universe hangs in the balance on turning out okay." She's like, "Oh, bye." So I just don't like her.
Yeah.
I think she's got too much going on. So, yeah.
Rob, I have a challenge for you.
Yeah.
In 7 words, how do you feel about Marvel now?
I'm just doing a word count. So,
yeah.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Sometimes pretty good, but also very bad.
Awesome. I'm really glad I did that.
Yeah.
Nice. Thanks, Rob.
Yeah.
All right. I didn't prepare any questions at all for this segment. I've been making them up as I go along. So I'm going to ask one more question. Why do you dislike earlier Tool records?
I like Justin Chancellor's bass playing, and he did not join until after Undertow. What's the other guy's name? Off the Moor or something Off the Moor. Well, I just feel like they really came into their prog sound more than their hard rock sound with Anima, Lateralis, 10,000 Days. Fear Inoculum was too little too late. I'll spin Undertow sometimes. I don't really like Opiate. I was introduced to Tool when Lateralis came out. So working backwards, like Anima and Lateralis are spiritually very similar records. Like, it makes sense that they were made next to each other. But I feel like their earlier stuff's a little undeveloped for what I expect out of them.
Yeah, I was introduced as soon as Undertow came out. That was my introduction. And then I dug into their catalog, and then I'm like, this is awesome. And then when Anima and Lateralis came out, I'm like, yeah, these also awesome. But I'm starting to fall out of love, and that was it. I hadn't listened to anything after that.
Yeah.
Nice.
I think they're great. I think everything they do is impressive, but like the early stuff's not for me. I like those. Lateralis and Anima back to back are like mwah, chef's kiss. They could have ended their career there, and I'd be happy.
You can hear Erin talking in the background. She's calling Olive Garden because she left her phone there.
Oh no!
On my phone. So all right, Rob, this is the pivotal, probably most important question that we've had. And if you want to know, I think Tool's pretty good.
Yeah.
But this is probably the most important question that we've ever asked in Rob's Magic Marvel Corner. And I really want an honest answer, okay?
Yeah.
I don't want you skirting the issue here.
Okay.
Is a hot dog a soft to medium sandwich or an absolute?
Soft to medium.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I that's a controversial pick, but since I agree with you, I guess we can just go ahead and move on to back credit names.
Hey, Colleen!
We finished the bit!
We did it!
It's got a great ass.
So do you, Pilgrim. So do you, Pilgrim. So do you, Pilgrim.
that credit names.
No more Marvel.
Couple. Yes. Yeah, no more ever. Gary Toy.
Okay.
Larry Jolly.
Okay.
Oh wow.
Cleet F. Citrone.
Ew.
Donald Puck.
Yeah.
Gross.
Glenn Spanky Roberts.
Is Spanky in quotes, or is that like his formal name?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it's in quotes. So he chose that.
You gotta think, or he has a reputation for being Spanky.
True.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
Run away from those.
Yeah.
And last, Alexandra Cock.
Wow.
That's an unfortunate.
It's definitely Koch. It's definitely
okay. Yeah.
All right, let's move it on to our offensive minigame.
I care for you a great deal. Trust me, Charlotte.
You practically raped me last night.
That was last night, Charlotte. This is today.
Is something you might hear about in the offensive minigame.
Okay, pulling back the curtain on Carrot Top pulling back his carrot.
Okay.
Or exiling escapees, escorts, and atheists.
That one, I feel like that's a lot more
Yeah.
exploitative.
I agree.
Yeah. Frat house fart humor.
Mm-hmm.
Or genocide.
I mean,
yeah, genocide has to win.
Yeah, genocide
has to.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're where are you going with the bonus anyway? Filleting faces or disrespecting dead dudes.
Dead dudes.
Dead dudes, yeah.
Okay.
He stole his tie. That was the last time people were going to see that person's in the physical realm, and he stole his tie.
And ruined his makeup, probably.
That's fucked up.
Snapped off a finger accidentally.
Yeah.
Due to rigor mortis. Who knows?
Yeah.
Okay, well, we got our all of our results now. Let's throw it to the movie comparison.
You can't kill the boogeyman.
But you can compare the movies.
Okay, chairman of the board, our winner last week, unseating One Missed Call, yeah?
Yeah.
And Escape from LA this week, a negative 62.4 and the worst for chairman of the board. No surprise there, big winner over negative 30.4 and worst from for Escape from LA.
Yeah.
Bob, you had a 5-star pitch last week, and Rob, you had a 4.25 star pitch this week.
Rats.
So chairman takes that one as well.
Yeah.
Offensive, we just learned Escape from LA more offensive, based on genocide over frat house farting. I think.
Yeah.
Dialogue, which is worse, chairman of the board? It is chairman of the board.
It is chairman of the board.
It is chairman of the board.
Yeah. Production, who is the audience for chairman of the board? And a remake and a very bad one for Escape from LA.
I would say chairman's worse because, like, you don't know who chairman's for, but, like, you know who Escape from LA's for, and it's for people that want to rewatch Escape from New York. So
yes.
There was 100%. There was a target demo. So.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm also going to go with acting for chairman of the board personally.
Yeah.
Yes. Totally.
Yeah. Okay, so a 5-1, almost clean sweep for chairman of the board. It's going to be really hard to beat. That is the worst movie of the season so far. We don't have a whole lot to go before we do a good movie. I'm wondering, are we going to do like a good holiday movie this year or this season? I guess we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
Does such a thing exist? I'm just saying.
Like, if just to throw it into the ether, planes, trains, and automobiles would be badass. But Thanksgiving's this week, and we're not going to get to it until a few weeks from now. So,
good call. Good call.
That's a fantastic comedy.
But we do already know what we're doing next week. So worst of the season is chairman of the board. Next week we're doing Miami Connection.
Yeah, by a considerable margin. Yes.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, it really wiped the floor.
I almost never look at the poll, but I was really I had to write like a list article on just laughably awful movies. That's how I got Samurai Cop in the mix. It was from that article. I read about Miami Connection. I researched Miami Connection, but I haven't yet seen it. So I had to throw it on the poll because that's just for me. I know it's going to be awful, but I feel like I'm gonna thoroughly enjoy it.
Oh my god, it's actually uploading to the drive right now. 'Cause I knew that was gonna win.
Awesome.
Fuck
well,
yeah.
we'll get to work on that right away. For you, the listening audience, if you don't like my tone right now, why don't you email us and make fun of us and tell us a movie that you want to see? Because we would love to do them. Escape from LA, as a matter of fact, was an email submission from a fan, and we thank you very much for that. We should give him another shout out at some point. You remember his name?
I thanks to technology. Let me take a look. Go to email. You can find us at www.theworstmovieevermade.com. You click the little email button, just like our friend Nobi Jimka did. And thank you, Nobi, for the request. He told us we suck, and we agreed because that's why we do this. So go to the webpage. There's our social, our streaming, our YouTube, and that's really all we got going on right now.
Rob just plugged us. Why don't we send it to Bob's last word and hit it with that sweet theme?
Oh, the last word is obviously Cuervo Jones.
I could have said that, yeah.
All right, guys. See you next week. Call me Snake.
Hi, Jelly School.
Bye, Jelly School.
Name's